This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of NASCAR's top 3 series, send them through the ratings algorithm, and see who comes out on top. Here's a few tidbits to know heading in. The driver ratings are updated race by race to reflect the performance of that driver throughout the season, as well as at that specific track in recent years. The races are at 100% length and use normal tire and fuel wear. The starting lineup will match the real-life qualifying using the provisional starting order, not the one that includes drivers heading to the back. The weather will match the real-life start time data, and commentary will match the real-life scenarios, not the standings that will be posted at the end of the video. And as always, this series is for entertainment purposes only. Using artificial intelligence and using the results of this race for gambling purposes is discouraged. A quick look at our other 2 championship races. Sheldon Creed will be first to the line in the Truck Series. He will win the title, followed by Grant Enfinger coming up just short after getting that comeback Martinsville victory. The other 2 championship competitors had issues throughout the night. Zane Smith finishing back in 27th, Brett Moffitt in 30th. And in the Xfinity Series, it would be Chase Briscoe just barely beating out Austin Cindric to the line. Justin Haley, Justin Allgaier there in 3rd and 4th, all of the championship 4 finishing there inside the top 4. Myatt Snyder would be that 5th position. Unfortunate days for a few of the drivers that were competitors throughout the season, but were unable to make the championship 4, like Ross Chastain and Harrison Burton, involved in accidents. Now it is time for the Cup Championship battle. Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin looking for a title here today at Phoenix. Green flag flies. And Chase Elliott immediately swallowed up in the middle. Drivers trying to find their best line, and Keselowski making it work on the bottom right away. He will get to the lead. Ryan Blaney not a part of the championship battle, but is going to try to get inside for second. Looks like he'll slip back a little bit while Keselowski's at the front. Denny Hamlin faring the best among the championship drivers in the average finish department, about 2 spots ahead of Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. If Kevin Harvick were able to make the championship 4, he would have been one of the favorites heading into this one. He has 9 victories at this racetrack. Meanwhile, Joey Logano, he got the win here back in the spring. He is trying to see if he could be going for a sweep that would ultimately propel him to a title. Brad Keselowski not so well on this racetrack in terms of getting up there in the top 5. Doesn't have a victory here. Has the best finish of 2nd. That came a few years ago. Trying to see what he can do to work his way up. And we see Kevin Harvick, we mentioned, not a part of this championship 4 battle. He had bad finishes at Texas and Martinsville. Couldn't grab the victory at Kansas. He is just going to try to go for a race win, make it 10 on the season. We see Kyle Busch working his way up the field. One of 2 drivers to eclipse 1,000 laps led at this track, including Harvick. Trying to get his 2nd win of the season after a disappointing year in terms of going to defend his title. Joey Logano now going a lap down. Harvick out in front. But the 22 car is going to have a hard time recovering from that one if he's going to try to stay in this championship battle. Harvick is going to cross the line first for stage 1. As far as the championship competitors go, Denny Hamlin is there in 2nd place. Brad Keselowski in 4th. Chase Elliott in 8th. Stage points not going to matter to them tonight. They just got to finish out in front of the other 3. Denny Hamlin will tuck back in just behind the 4 car and try to see if he can grab the lead, get that clean air. But we're going to have some issues over in turn 2. Corey LaJoie a little high at 3 wide, possibly 4 wide situation there. Stewart Haas cars of Cole Custer and Eric Almirola get into him, and fortunately, no one is going to hit that 32 car as he goes sliding down the backstretch. But that will lead to another restart. Harvick still out in front, trying to see if he can hold the rest of the field behind him. But the 11 car is very hungry to grab that lead and try to get away from his competition. Looking to that inside, but Harvick going to have the momentum on the outside. We saw that happening in the Xfinity race. We might see a similar situation here, although some drivers might be able to make the bottom work. Here we go with Brad Keselowski going to the inside of Chase Elliott, trying to see if he can go for the 4th position. Move him 1 spot closer to the 11. Elliott hanging in there, side by side with him, going into the dogleg. Going to have some teammate trouble here, though. Keselowski getting into his teammate Ryan Blaney going into turn 3. Going to put him in the wall and bring out a caution. just before that caution came out, the 11 car was able to get by the 4, so Hamlin now controlling the restart and going to try to see if he can get away from those other 2 drivers on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Harvick's going to pull ahead, and Keselowski's going to try to reel him in. Unable to make it happen in turns 3 and 4, he's going to have to back out a little bit. Doesn't get that momentum off the corner. Taking a look at some of the other stories heading into this offseason, this is the last full-time start for Jimmy Johnson. Trying to see if he can get a good run, although he is already a lap down. A whole gaggle of cars here with news stories around them. Bubba Wallace going to 2311 Racing. Eric Jones taking the spot of Bubba after not being retained for Joe Gibbs Racing in favor of Christopher Bell. Daniel Suarez going to Trackhouse Gaunt Brothers Racing, seat still open. How about Clint Bowyer? This is going to be his final start in the series, and then he's going to the broadcast booth trying to see if he can get a good run. He's up here in the 5th position. That's going to slide back to 6th. All on problems for William Byron. Going up in smoke in turns 1 and 2. He's going to duck down the pit lane. He's able to get it down there, and we won't go to a caution here. But there is going to be a caution with this spin. 77 going around off the front of the 1 car. That is on the backstretch. That will bring out a caution just in the middle of stage 2. Harvick got around the 11 car and now is going to try to pull away and try to maintain his lead to the end of stage 2. Here's another driver that might be making his last start. We've said this about twice before. First in 2017 when he was not retained by Joe Gibbs Racing, and again when he ran a part-time schedule with Roush Fenway. Now he won't be returning to that 42 car. That'll be Ross Chastain going in, and Corey LaJoie going another lap down. He is looking for a new ride in 2021. Coming to the end of stage 2, Kevin Harvick will win the stage once again. Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott are there in 2nd and 3rd. Keselowski back in 5th. And we still don't see Joey Logano. He has not been able to maintain speed, although he is still only 1 lap down. He might have a chance to get back into it, but we'll see if that's possible. So on the restart, they are really scattered out. Suarez way up the hill, and he's going to make contact with Chase Elliott into the wall. Big trouble for a Championship 4 contender. Joey Logano also in the wall, and he's going to slam into the 9 car. 2 of your championship competitors involved in a huge accident on the backstretch. Several cars involved. You can see the 22 has some damage as well as the 9, obviously. Let's take a look here, and Suarez was up the hill coming down. 9 ends up in the inside wall. The 19 collected, the 47, the 95. 3 car plowed in that 9 as well as the 22, a championship competitor. Double whammy for the Richard Childress cars. 27, 43, 66, all a part of it. And back here, actually there was a squeeze there with the double 0 and 27 that put Logano into the inside wall before he hit the 9 car later down, tried to keep it straight. And that is going to cause some heavy damage to both the 22 and the 9. They have both repaired their cars in the allotted time, and they are going to try to stay in the race. The 9 car is actually still on the lead lap, but he's going to have some heavy damage to deal with. This is not going to look like a good situation as we see on the restart. Keselowski going to the inside of the 11 car, and he is going to shoot to the front, at least of that battle. The 22 car now going another lap down. It looks like his chances of getting a championship are definitely over now as he goes another lap down to the 4 car, who is not able to pull away from the rest of the field like he was before. Eric Almirola is still on his back, and Keselowski not far behind. Oh, and the 4 car is going to get into the 27 and turn him into the inside wall. Already damaged from that last big accident. That is going to bring out another caution, though. And you see the 9 car just driving by, but he was put down a lap by the 4 car, and that is going to keep him off the lead lap. We see Keselowski out in front. He was able to pull away on the pit stops ahead of Harvick, and now he is able to get a bit of an advantage. 4 car unable to catch up, and here we see Hamlin trying to see if he can reel in the 2 car, trying to go to his underside of his teammate Kyle Busch for the 4th position. But the 18 not making it too easy. Might want to take it easy if they have any chance of getting this championship. And now we see the 14 heading down the pit lane. And this sounds terminal. What a heartbreak for the 14 team, and Clint Bowyer, making his final start in the series, was looking to have at least a solid day. He was up there on that lead lap, and now that's going to come to an end. Unfortunate way to end out your Cup career. Meanwhile, Keselowski is extending that lead. Look at how far ahead he is. The 4 car doesn't have anything for him, and Keselowski's on pace to win this race as well as the championship. We've seen it happen in the other 2 series. The winner ended up winning the title as well, and Denny Hamlin's going to have a big feat to be able to catch up to the 2 car. Coming around the corner, the white flag going to wave. Brad Keselowski, the 2012 champion, who, if he's able to hold on to that position right now, will match just about every statistical category he had that year. He had 5 wins that season. He currently has 4. He had 13 top 5s that season. He currently has 12. He would just be 1 over on the top 10s at 23. But coming around turns 3 and 4, Brad Keselowski gonna win here at Phoenix, and he is your 2020 Cup champion. What a run by Keselowski today. He hadn't won here before, but he has run great at the 750 horsepower tracks. Victories at Bristol, Richmond, New Hampshire, and today at Phoenix, he is going to walk away with his 2nd title. Kevin Harvick, 2nd place, could have been a championship competitor. Unfortunately, doesn't look like he would have gotten it anyway with Keselowski out there in front. Denny Hamlin would come home in 4th position. He will be 2nd on the standings. Chase Elliott 10th after his involvement in that big accident. He is definitely going to be kicking himself for that one, but it is ultimately going to be a 3rd place effort for him. And Joey Logano, who just didn't have the speed anyway, that crash unfortunately took him way out of contention. He is back there in the 22nd position. Some other notable results by some of the drivers today. Eric Jones, a top 10 in his final run at Joe Gibbs Racing. 12th place for Jimmy Johnson, 13th place for Matt Kenseth in their final rides. Unfortunately for Clint Bowyer, his final ride will result in a 35th place finish, unable to make it to the end with a mechanical issue hindering him in the final stage. That is going to be it for NR2003 Predicts for the 2020 season. We hope you enjoyed these simulations all year long. We hope you enjoyed today's race, and we will see you all next season.